how you going? Have you ever wondered what the Posca Mopar markers are like? Well, in this video, I'm going to take you through the pros and cons and how I use them. So let's get started. Before we jump into the pros and cons, let's talk a little bit about Posca markers. They come in a variety of colors. They are opaque, light fast inks, and they are awesome to use. The Mopars only come in 8 colors. I've got 6 of them. The basic 8 colors is what you get at the moment. Hopefully Posca will extend that range out to cater for all the colors that they have in their range. Now let's talk about the pros of the Posca Mopar markers. Obviously they have a great big thick flat circle tip. It's like a sponge and you can squeeze the ink out and you can lay down some big areas of color fairly quickly. It's a nice runny opaque ink. The versatility of these markers is second to none. You can draw on metal, wood, plastic, you name it, you can pretty much draw on it. These markers are quick drying, so you don't have to wait too long to dry, especially on porous surfaces. They'll suck the moisture straight out and it'll dry pretty quick. On metal and glass surfaces, it will take longer to dry. These markers are long lasting once the color has dried, and it'll be light fast for a long time. So what are some of the cons of these markers? Well, obviously on vertical surfaces they can run, but I'll show you how to avoid that later in the video. They also only come in 8 of the basic 8 colors. So that is a little bit limiting for most creatives. They are a little bit more expensive, but obviously you get a lot of ink. So I'm thinking that even if I didn't use these, I might be able to refill up some of my other markers to get around that price point. If you are new to paint markers, there is a little bit of a learning curve, but really you'll get into them pretty much straight away. It's only when you're going to do vertical that you might run into problems. I also have found though that on even cartridge, if you put a little bit too much on, it will go through onto your table. So make sure you have something underneath when you use these. Also, trying to get a consistent flow can be a little bit of an issue, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. How do I use these in my artwork? I use these by planning out my line work, my bigger areas for my life. How do you stop these from running on a vertical surface? It's how you hold it. If you hold it with the bottom down, it's not going to run. If you squeeze it too hard, obviously it's going to push the ink out and run. If you hold it up the wrong way, upside down, it is going to run as well. Why? Because of gravity. Gravity is going to push that ink out and it's going to run down your canvas. You might like that. On certain effects, I'm going to use the runs to my advantage. Okay, so a con or a negative, I'm turning it into a positive and letting those runs add to the artwork. It can look kind of cool. Overall, I think these Posca Mopar markers are worth it. I'm going to use them in my artwork. Probably not going to use them in my painting classes like I do my other 3M and 5Ms because they're probably a little bit messy and a bit hard for the beginner artist. So if you want to get your hands on them and give it a try, check out the affiliate link below, and not only will you be getting some awesome Mopar markers, you'll also be supporting me. And if you've got some value out of today's video, maybe subscribe because I am going to bring you some more info about how I use Posca markers. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye. See ya.